You are accusing her of being a bad faith ideologue. You're saying she's incapable of applying logic to her arguments. And now you're pretending like you're just...
arguments are poisoned by her feelings, which come from her ideology.
But that's an attack on somebody's character. You're saying you're incapable of applying logic. You're post-hocking everything. All you do is argue with feelings, and you're not owning any of your beliefs. You're calling them a bad faith idiot.
I feel like you know where I'm coming from, but you're just kind of not seeing it on purpose. You're being bad faith.
Okay, I have to employ the help from you guys now, because it's not enough for me, and I feel like I was gonna Google a tool to mass unban from the subreddit. I feel like I've been banning too many people from the subreddit. It's gotten too much, but now I feel like I have to go overdrive. You can't blame this on me anymore, okay? Because I never act like this. I will talk to anybody, and I'll have a conversation, and we'll chill at the end. But you guys are unhinged. Oh, did my loser mod delete the posts? Forethought. There was a post on Aaron and Pixie. I disagree with them both over a lot of what we discussed last night. But you guys are like incapable of voicing a disagreement without it being like the most vitriolic, disgusting shit in the world. Holy fuck. Like, I feel like you guys can't listen. They're not even normal people. They're like more informed than most. I feel like if you guys ever watched me go out onto the street and talk to normal people, I think you would lose your mind at what the opinions of most people are like. You would have no fucking idea like how most people think. Like, you're expecting every single person to be like the most ontologically tested, empirically validated, rhetorically effective. Like, it's so absolutely unhinged, the types of shit that you guys post in here. Holy fuck. Like, the problem too is that you, like, nobody wants to come on stream when you guys act this way. Like, when you guys are doing posts like this, like, they came on, they voiced a disagreement. It was a fine disagreement. Nobody was screaming at each other. Nobody was shouting at each other. Maybe some people memed a little bit, but like, nothing here is like warranting like the unimaginable fucking like vitriol for people. Jesus. Obviously, this is just dishonesty. The reason she wants to boycott the game and not the Kleenex product is because she's ideologically invested in the trans discourse. It has absolutely nothing to do with any of the underlying logic. Like, Jesus Christ. Was this third upvoted by your sub a lot? Yeah, it was, yeah, decently so. When I woke up this morning and I checked my sub, I saw both of these pretty upvoted. You guys need to find, I can't just ban all of you. I mean, I could just keep banning and keep banning and keep banning. But like, you guys have to find a better way to voice disagreements where you're dealing with like the substantive stuff that's being posted. Rather than like the insane, especially the sad thing too is that like, and I don't know if you guys realize you're the ones being self-destructive, because the conversation about the Harry Potter shit yesterday, it was an interesting conversation. Even if you disagree, even if you disagree with the posts, or I'm sorry, even if you disagree with their opinions, like at least it was a good like instigator of interested discussion. Or you could just sit here and shut the fuck up and watch me play Factorial all day. Like I don't know. It's like same thing with Pisco. People seem to hate him so much. Yeah, and I like Pisco makes him so, and it, yeah, I don't know how to. This is why none of the Royale shows ever worked, is because people got like so toxic over it. But like, Pisco is so irritating to me in chat. And when he comes on and debates with me, he's so irritating. But I love it. It's fun. It's interesting. It's so much more entertaining. This is why I like Lav and Mr. Girl. Like, as much as you guys will sit here and against it, like, we can sit here and be bored all day or watch Factorio or just do like politics research streams. But it's also really fun to have like, I don't want to call them heels, but like having figures on stream that can be really combative, that can have very strong personalities, that can like provide arguments that like, obviously we disagree with and we want to fight with them. But it's like, it makes for super, super entertaining conversations, I think. And then, but you guys just like, you guys will take to the subreddit and it's like, here's like my 52-page manifesto on why like this person is a moron, this person is a idiot, this person is bad faith and dishonest, this person is a subhuman 0 IQ, this person is a never bring them back, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, like, I don't know, it's just so irritating. Yeah, because like you make it so that like nobody, like the sub over the past like 6 months has gotten like so insanely anti-fanny. I don't know if I need to like modify my approach in terms of like banning, but like it's so irritating. Like even stuff that gets posted positively, like people will find a way to like shit on me over it. Like the irrelevant stuff is really cool. The guy's working out a ton. Apparently he's made progress. Yeah, you see the pics, and that's a cool thread. But then it's like half the comments like, where's Destiny? Blah blah blah. And it's like, damn, why the even in my community posting? So you want us to be nice? It's not that you have to be nice. I don't care if you're nice or not, but just don't be like vitriolic shitheads. There's a difference between being mean to a person in a one-on-one environment versus let's make a thread with like 500 people commenting and then drawing it out for days and days and days and days, right? Like having a post where you're like, oh, I disagree with this person, or oh, blah, 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 or this person said this, or whatever, is, yeah, but just having like hundreds of people like posting insane shit is just like, it's overwhelming. Like, Jesus Christ. What value do you bring to subreddit fields in general? Well, it's good to have like a place where community people can post and like be a community and all that. But so 75% of the sub just hate women. No, this has nothing to do with women. It has to do with this is not a misogyny problem. Congratulations, good job. Some of the comments are, but this is it's just, this is, I think this is what's happening a little bit. I think these are the issues. I don't know how much more I could cut away, lobotomize my online shit. At some point, I'm gonna have to start having higher expectations of you guys, okay? When I'm fighting with somebody, when I'm arguing with somebody, I can be pretty mean, pretty aggressive. We can be screaming at each other, cutting each other off. But then at the end, like, we're chill. It's cool. Like, if Pisco was here after last night, we would have probably went out and gotten drinks. Or like done something, because that's it. It's fine. Once the argument is done, we're done. I don't hate anybody that I argue with. It's very, 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 very rare that I hate any. There's like 2 people I hate. Okay, Cathals and kind of Mr. Girl. There's like 2 people I hate. Right? It's very, very rare. But I argue in an aggressive manner. I don't know. That's what I grew up with. On the Cuban side of my family. Okay, that's my Hispanic experience. Okay, when my aunt argues with people, okay, as an East Coaster, New Yorker, Cuban, she screams at people. She calls them stupid as. She's in your face. Screaming at you, blah, blah, blah. That's just how she talks. I think Melina's seen it before, right? Mel? Oh, never mind. She's not even here. And then I don't know. I'm just used to hearing people outside of me, my immediate family. People are screaming at each other, shouting at each other, but it's cool. That's just how they argue it. There's no like actual hate there at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I don't know. I wish you guys could copy the part of my behavior where it's obvious that I don't hate any of the people that I argue with. Like, anytime somebody is brought up, like, here's something that you should know. You should remember this, okay? Anytime somebody is brought up when they're not there, I am always defending that person. I don't know if there is almost ever an exception to that. Even for people that I hate. Like when Lav was off stream and people were like, oh, isn't Lav a fucking mother? It's like, no, she's probably saying this or that. Or didn't Mr. Girl hate that? Even recently, sometimes for Mr. Girl, I'm like, no, well, Mr. Girl's probably saying like this or that or that. Or this is probably what he means. Or Vosh probably means this or this. Or Hassan probably means this or this. Even if it's people that when I was arguing with, I'm like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Why do you think this, blah, 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 blah. When they're not there, I'm usually trying to get, because I don't hate the person. It's not like, you're never seeing me on stream where somebody is brought on and it's like, oh God, like you remember that argument with like Pisco? Yeah, he's such a fucking idiot. I hate that guy. God, I wish he wouldn't even be my fucking chat. I just can't stand him. He's such a loser. That's how you guys talk. And you can say, like, people that say, oh, well, we get it from you. No, you get some artificial bullshit from me, but you're not getting the full picture. Like, I would never ever. Like, if I was making posts about these people, like, yeah, I think the Pixie and, like, Aaron's arguments on this, I think these arguments were kind of silly. I don't believe in this, blah, blah. But it would never be like, they don't have anything of value to contribute. They don't do anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you mean? They instigated an interesting discussion last night for, like, 2 or 3 hours. Like, it was one of the first discussions we had on these, like, things. Most of the discussions on the stream are instigated by other people coming in and taking contrary positions. Like, in your world, the only people that are going to be left are going to be people that are boring, that are too afraid to take any strong position because they don't want to get shit on, or people that just circle jerk me. And it's just, oh, here's another guy to come and agree with Destiny, and that's all that's left because everybody else gets, like, hated the out of the community. You guys need to figure that out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is for that. I don't know how, yeah, I don't know if it's more aggressive banning or you guys moderating yourselves more or what the but like.
You know what time it is, Steve?
What?
For slamming.
Slamming you?
Yeah. Have you not missed my slams?
All the time, Mel.
All the time. See, they love that. Why are you not going over that?
Good, Muleskin. True. Because you do slam it.
Yeah.
All the
Maybe
time.
you should talk about that instead.
True.
Actually.
And then they showed on Erudite for agreeing with you. Oh yeah, true. Didn't somebody make a thread shitting on her because they're like, oh, all she does is agree with Destiny's opinions? You guys are like impossible. You gotta find more people that can handle the heat of a big community. Nobody can handle like that much like random vitriol, especially not randos. Like I would have to limit myself, or we can do like the Mr. Girl thing. Nice, good job. We can do the Mr. Girl thing if you want, and I can only have on big content creators. Like if that's it. Like, is that the solution going forward then? Like, no more randoms? Like, I'm only ever gonna like Clout Shark? Like, only big creators from now on? To be honest, the only fair Aaron criticism is hiding behind irony when you're strong. Sure, that's a fair criticism. I get annoyed when she does it. And that's a fair criticism. But you don't have to like, I fucking hate this fucking person. If you're condescending, it's not in bad faith like Aaron. How can you be condescending in bad faith? You're condescending or what? It has nothing to do with being bad faith or not. Even the thread title would be worth a permaban. Conversations with Pixie are pointless. Like, bro. Jesus. Aaron's arrogance is a huge benefit to her character and interest to the stream. Yeah, it's more fun when people stake out strong positions, right? And then if they're wrong, and you learn something and you move on. I feel like you guys aren't capable of doing that. It's hard. It's even getting harder for me, which is even embarrassing to admit. Like, it's nice to stake out a strong position and then you're wrong and then you learn and then you move on. Like any position I've staked out where I've had like an incredibly strong opinion on it and I've been incorrect, like I learn a ton afterwards. But like, damn, you guys get fucking obsessed over shit like that. This one, my brain is super. I'm very house pilled right now because I watched like 50 hours or more of House, I think, over the when I was on my bullshit internet waiting for my fiber. But like, yeah, even for House, it's interesting to be like, oh, it's this, it's that, it's that. And then it's like, well, what about this symptom? Can that cause that? He's like, no, I was wrong. And then you move on to the next thing. Get more information and then move on. You learn a little bit. You keep on rolling. Does anyone's opinion ever change though? My opinions have changed. Yours should too. Okay, let's start. Ready? Here, I rarely do this, but you're lucky. I'm gonna do it today just for you. We're gonna do a subreddit post critique for how to not sound like a huge fucking cockmongler. Okay, good luck. Conversations with Pixie are pointless. So the title already sucks, okay? It's already insanely aggressive for no reason, okay? Pointless? Really? There's not a single point? What a dickish. Fine, okay. Maybe the post won't be quite as bad. In every conversation she engages in, she feigns playing the devil's advocate while very clearly genuinely believing the thing she is arguing for. I don't even know when this happens. What is she arguing for that she didn't genuinely believe in last time? I don't know if I've ever seen her do that before. If she is, she usually says it. She is a close-minded ideologue who won't own any of her positions, but will continue to believe and campaign for those beliefs. What will she not own? I don't understand. Oh, hold on. Okay, what is she feigning playing devil's advocate for?
Hello?
Hello. Oh, you're listening to the stream. You have to listen to me on Discord.
I just closed it.
Okay, what is she feigning playing devil's advocate for?
In your debate about the trans genocide, basically broke out all your points about why it's inappropriate to call it a genocide. She goes, I don't think it's a genocide, but I disagree with every single one of your points, and I'm going to systematically dismantle them. Oh, but I don't actually agree with your overall argument.
Okay, yeah, I understand. A lot of you fucking, like, yeah, retard brain people didn't pick this up. What was her argument in that? What did she come on to argue about that? She literally reiterated it like 6 times. Let's see if you caught it. What did she actually come on to argue?
Came on to argue about genocide not necessitating violence.
Yes, that was the point of the argument. That's what she wanted to focus on.
But it devolved, didn't it?
What do you mean it devolved?
Not devolved, it evolved.
I don't know. I think that's generally, I think when we start, I feel like I remember multiple times when people try to say like, oh, do you think trans people are being genocided, or oh, so blah, 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 that she explicitly said multiple times, wait, hold on, I'm just arguing about whether, I think she even said specifically, I don't think a trans genocide is happening, but I'm here to argue about whether or not a genocide necessitates a violent response. That's what she wanted to argue multiple times, yeah.
And every time you gave a reason for your argument, she said, I don't agree, I agree with your argument, but I disagree with your reason.
Can you give me? I don't remember this.
One of them was, said like, shouldn't call things things just because not calling them that thing makes people feel bad. She said, well, why shouldn't we?
Okay.
He disagreed that we shouldn't call things things just because not calling them that would make people feel upset.
Okay.
She still doesn't. She doesn't think it's a genocide yet, but she's just saying that.
That's a valid question. I agree with it, but that's a valid question. It's like the difference between calling people survivors versus victims. I think it's stupid, but there are a lot of people that argue that we should call things different things if they make people feel different ways about it. Again, I think it's dumb, but it's not like a feigned argument or something.
What I'm saying is that it displays a pattern of behavior. As she won't own her point, she does think there is a trans genocide, or at least she thinks we should call it a trans genocide.
She wasn't there to argue that, though. That's not what she came to argue. It's not about owning position. Like, what is this thing you tweeted? She showed up to argue a very specific point.
Yes, she came to argue that, but her actual argument is that we should call it a genocide, but she won't own that point. She'll just argue for that point. She'll try and dismantle all of your reasons for why you're making that argument.
She was just trying to argue that just because...
when you try and pin her down, she'll say, no, I'm not even arguing that. I'm just saying that these reasons aren't valid. But I'm not actually owning the argument. I'm just saying that these reasons aren't valid.
Yeah, she was just there to argue that just because you call something a genocide doesn't necessitate a violent response against the civilian population from the people being genocided. That's what she came to argue. She clarified it like 15 times. People keep trying to make the question of like, do you think there's a trans genocide, etc.
No, she ran from it. She didn't clarify. You tried to pin her down, or chat tried to pin her down, and she ran from it.
They tried to pin her down on an argument that she wasn't having.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Okay.
Whole point is that you can never pin her down because she never stakes an argument.
Because that wasn't what she showed up to argue.
She showed up to argue on the minutiae reasons for your overall argument, but then never actually staked a claim to an argument.
She did stake a claim.
No.
Yeah.
You staked claims to the reasons against your overall argument.
No, she staked a claim that just because somebody said...
she staked a faux claim.
She
said,
staked a claim.
I do agree with what you're saying. I just disagree with all the reasons you're saying.
No, that wasn't what the conversation is about. She staked a claim, and she said, I believe that just because a genocide is happening against you, that doesn't give you carte blanche to start murdering civilians that are part of the population genocide. That was her claim. That's what she came to... That's what she came to argue about. That was all she wanted to argue about. Arguing about whether or not there's a trans genocide was never an argument that she wanted to have. So if you're mad that she wouldn't stake out a position there, that's your fault. She didn't want to have that argument. That's not what she showed up to talk about.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying. You're saying she's hiding a position, she won't take a strong position on blah, blah, blah. She didn't show up to take a strong position on that. That wasn't her argument.
What I'm saying is that she does hold that position, or at least
she thinks... That's not what she showed up to argue. Who cares if she does or doesn't? In the conversation,
she's claiming that she doesn't hold that position while arguing in favor of the position she's saying she doesn't hold. She's debunking her own position that she stakes in the conversation. I don't think it's a trans genocide. But then all of my arguments display that I do think it's a trans genocide, But when you try and pin me down and argue
We
against
weren't even
my overall belief,
What did she say to make you think she
I
thinks
just
there's a
say I don't
transgender? We
believe
weren't
it.
even arguing about that. That wasn't even the conversation topic.
It was downstream from that topic, wasn't it?
No, she every time somebody tried to make it about that, she said, "That's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the violence against people genociding you thing." That's what happened over and over and over and over again.
Okay, well let's move on to one that's more recent, the actual Harry Potter one.
Okay.
She explicitly said in your conversation, "I don't believe it's unethical to play the game or consume the game in whatever way."
I said that or she said
She
that?
said that verbatim during the conversation.
Okay.
And then she proceeded to argue all the reasons why actually it's actually the only way to consume it ethically is to pirate it, because piracy, blah, blah, blah. But no, she doesn't actually believe that it's unethical. Then why is she making that argument?
It felt to me like a lot of people's positions were evolving over that argument. It was the first time we discussed it. A lot of people, Pisco, Ruminate, me, Aaron, and Pixie, were floating different ideas out. And it seems like a lot of people were like kind of moving through different positions as they were figuring things out. It didn't feel like anybody came into that conversation with an ultra strong position. That was the feeling that I had.
But that's like 40 minutes in when she says that.
Okay. So you think she was doing that because she was being bad faith?
No, I don't think she's being intentionally bad faith. I just think she's saying what her feelings are telling her to say, even if that is not logically consistent with the overall conversation.
I think all of us were speaking out of our feelings in that conversation. I think all of us were trying to figure out, like, what is pirating? Is pirating stealing?
The way she does it are comparable?
They're probably not exactly the same, but not everybody has to have the exact same fucking enumeration process that I do when it comes to internal thoughts.
I can criticize those differences, can't I?
You're not criticizing them. You're accusing her of being bad faith and making fake faux arguments.
Yes, that's a criticism.
No, that's not a criticism. That's just shitting down somebody's throats. If you made a post, you're like, I wish that Pixie would.
Faith. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just shitting on you.
Yeah, bad faith is not an accusation. They're making a bad argument. It's making an accusation that you're a bad actor. There's a difference between me coming in and saying, like, I think this person, like, I don't like the arguments they're making. I think they're making bad arguments. Versus someone in and saying, like, this guy's a fucking retard. This guy is a bad faith actor. He's incapable of making good arguments.
Because I never actually called her bad faith in my post.
You said that she feigns playing devil's advocate while clearly genuinely believing the thing she's arguing for. She's a closed-minded ideologue who won't own her positions but will continue to believe and campaign for those beliefs. That's saying bad faith in more words.
She's driven by her ideology.
Yeah, that makes her bad faith. She's incapable of engaging in good faith because she's ideologically captured.
You would disagree with that. You would say that she does engage. Doesn't engage. But when she's engaging with you, yeah?
Yeah.
The purpose of her arguments is to further her ideology. It's not to actually have a logical conversation.
I think she's is more than capable of doing it. And I think that when she comes in to talk, I've had conversations with ideologues. I don't think that she's like unyielding. I think that she like has a thought process. She's thought it through, and she comes in and she wants to.
With my wording.
What?
I do consider I was being a bit aggressive with my wording.
No, you're not being aggressive with your wording. This is what you believe, and this is what was coming out with what you said.
I don't think she's a bad faith ideologue, but I do think she argues.
You're saying she's obviously being dishonest.
From the position of her ideology.
Yeah, that's bad faith. She's ideologically invested in the trans discourse. It has nothing to do with any logic.
That's not a commentary on her character. I don't think she's a bad person.
Okay.
I don't see how you're not seeing this.
Because I'm just reading your post. The reason she wants to boycott the game and not the Kleenex products is because she's
like, oh no, it's not the same because Kleenex has more utility. That is literally just doing mental gymnastics so she doesn't have to be tied down to the logical conclusion of her own argument.
No, hold on. It's not being tied down. That's like a fundamental concept in economics. It's called the substitution effect. If I want you to give up a product that's hard to substitute versus something that's very easy to substitute, hard to substitute might be like a napkin or a Kleenex versus easy to substitute as a form of entertainment. That's a totally valid thing to bring up as a contradiction. Like, oh yeah, like hold on, like just because you're saying I couldn't give up Kleenex doesn't mean I can't give up like the Harry Potter game. One of these is very easy to substitute out. The other one is more necessary and harder to substitute out. That's a fine question.
think it's harder to substitute Kleenex.
Then Harry Potter game? Yeah. There's a ton of shit that you can fucking play video games on.
So when you go to the store and you see the Kleenex wet wipes and right next to it is like the home brand wet wipes, you're like, oh, I can't substitute these out. What?
Okay. I'm going to give you an charitability that you don't deserve, okay? But in the United States, when we say Kleenex, that means tissue. It's the same thing for us. So she was probably talking about all tissue paper, not just the brand Kleenex. In the United States, we use Kleenex to mean tissue. That's what we say.
Yeah, well, that's my misunderstanding then. Even in my post, she says, I didn't call Joe Biden a rapist. Okay, and then I watched the video, and she explicitly calls him a rapist multiple times, and then I linked her the timestamp. Another example of her running away from her argument. She won't own it.
Wait, do you do it in this post?
Yeah. The comments. The comment is, isn't this you? Then the you is hyperlinked to the timestamp of the YouTube video where she says it.
Believe that Biden is a rapist.
Yeah, I think that he's most likely a rapist.
Okay, so then I don't
Even
know
in
why
that
I'm just
video,
Okay.
you literally say what I said about her to her face in the video about Tara Reid and Joe Biden.
The reason I'm being a weasel is because people are making it seem like I was screaming Biden is a rapist every time I mention his name. So yes, I was being stubborn when I shouldn't have been. And in the linked clip, it was me saying, do you think Biden's a rapist? She said, I think he's most likely a rapist. I didn't like her rationale for the Tara Reid stuff. That was an argument that I disagreed with her on. But I don't think she comes in with it trying to be a bad faith ideologue.
I'm not saying she comes in trying to be a bad faith ideologue.
Yes, you are. Dude, you're doing what you're accusing her.
Do
you understand that you're doing what you're accusing her of doing now? You are accusing her of being a bad faith ideologue. You're saying she's incapable of applying logic to her arguments. And now you're pretending like you're just...
arguments are poisoned by her feelings. It's come from her ideology. She's compassionate. She wants to be nice to trans people. So she will make whatever argument is necessary so that she can boycott Harry Potter or whatever the fuck the topic of the conversation is. And she will never back down from that. She'll never concede on that.
Why can't I see the fucking post
that's
anymore?
What her emotions bring.
That's calling someone a bad faith ideologue.
I would agree that calling someone a bad faith ideologue has some kind of moral charge, right?
What you're saying right now is some kind of charge.
Oh, I'm literally saying I don't think she's a bad person, but she behaves in this way. I'm trying to disconnect it from the moral charge. You see what I'm doing? I said this directly to her. I said, I don't think you're a bad person. I don't even think
Okay,
you're
you
doing
can
it
say
on
what I
purpose."
mean, like when you're literally saying her beliefs are based on her feelings, and arguing her beliefs is fucking pointless, and hearing her try to post hoc come up with the logic behind her beliefs while simultaneously contradicting herself at every turn is tiring. How is that not calling someone a bad faith ideologue? You're saying she's post-hocking her beliefs, she's not using any logic, but she's pretending to, and she's contradicting herself all the
Because of her
time.
emotions.
Yeah, that's being bad faith.
Okay, so if I say you're bad faith, do you think I'm making the subtext of me calling you bad faith is a commentary on your moral character?
A bit, yeah. I've even said this on my stream. If I'm in a
That's
debate with
why I'm
someone...
not saying that.
But you're saying it in more words. If I start saying things about this to somebody, then I know the
Yes,
conversation
I'm
is over.
spelling it out to disconnect it from that part.
Okay.
That's literally why I didn't go in with ad homs, because I'm trying to...
This is like me
to
saying,
lay
like,
out
this is like me
disconnect
saying, like,
from a
listen,
personal attack.
I think that you probably have an IQ of less than, like, 75. I don't even think you can, like, fathom analogies or hypotheticals. I think that, yeah, you have a lot of problems. And then I come in, I'm like, what the fuck? You're just gonna call me retarded? And you're like, no, because retarded is morally charged. I'm trying to, like, remove the subtext of that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that you're, like, sub 75 IQ.
But that's bad faith, obviously.
No, but you're saying, like, oh, I'm trying to remove any of the moral charge. I'm just saying that her beliefs are based on her feelings, and arguing for beliefs is fucking pointless, and hearing her try to post hoc, like...
I think on this topic you're not listening and you're becoming confused and then arguing from a confused place. And then you go, oh, so you're calling me retarded?
No, I'm not... Holy
Obviously
shit.
those two statements are different.
you're claiming that she's incapable of using logic. She's too ideologically driven.
Yeah.
So that's a claim on somebody's character, right?
On their moral character.
I don't know what kind of jerk-off fucking terminology you want to use. It's an attack on somebody's character. I'm not going to clarify it any more than that, okay? If you want to go debate Rem on moral philosophy, you can. But that's an attack on somebody's character. You're saying you're incapable of applying logic. You're post-hocking everything. All you do is argue with feelings, and you're not owning any of your beliefs. You're calling them a bad faith idiot.
I feel like you know where I'm coming from, but you're just kind of not seeing it on purpose. You're being bad faith.
It's bad faith all the way down.
Like, understand what I'm trying to do, right? Yes? No?
Maybe I am. I think I'm just too bad faith.
But you literally are.
I literally am, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely admit that I'm being a little bit, you know, a bit of hyperbole, and I'm being a little bit aggressive. I'm definitely trying to be respectful and tell her that I'm not attacking her. At least her moral character. I'm not saying she's a bad person or malicious in any way.
You
I'm saying
are
that she
saying
does
she's
something.
malicious. You are saying that.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're saying that she can only argue in her feelings and she post-hocks all of her rationale. She can't be logical.
You know what malicious means?
Yeah, like acting in a with malintent, acting with bad intention, approaching something with the hopes of doing
Purposefully.
harm, right?
Purposefully.
Yes.
But if her thoughts are clouded by her feelings, how is she intentionally being bad faith?
When you say she's playing the devil's advocate while very clearly genuinely believing the things she's arguing for, and she's a closed-minded ideologue who won't own her positions, but she believes in campaigns for those beliefs, you think all of that is accidental? You don't think that sounds like you're ascribing any intentionality there?
Yes.
Okay. Then one of us is super retarded. I don't know. Either you are or I am. One of us is ultra retarded.
I think you're definitely the one who's being retarded on this subject.
Okay. Then I guess I am. Because this reads like the most... I don't know how you feign playing a devil's advocate position while believing the opposite thing because you're a closed-minded ideologue. I don't know how you do all of that without intentionality.
So you don't think she does? You don't think she does that in your conversation about Tara Reid, where she will not concede that she only believes Joe Biden is a rapist because he wants to believe women. Whole time, it's like 4 hours of you just going back and forth and going.
No, I
and her
think that
going,
was the case in that argument. Yeah, I did believe
What
that.
you're
That's
saying
why I
is
said that.
you were right in your interpretation of her behavior in that argument, but I'm wrong in my interpretation of her behavior in these arguments.
The difference... No, there's a difference in
No,
criticism.
the difference here is that I'm
Okay.
making the criticism here, and you were making the criticism there. So you're right when you do it, but I'm wrong when I do it.
My criticism was limited to the conversation and not her character. I think that in that conversation, I thought that her line of logic was flawed, and I think that
And
she
is
was...
also limited to the conversation and her character. I'm
No,
just
you're not.
expanding
You're
it
saying
to-
all conversations with her are pointless. In every conversation
That's
she
because
engages
she
in...
behaves in a common way.
But she doesn't. There have been
Every
good
conversation
conversations
I've
I've
seen, she
had
does
with
the
Pixie.
exact same
There have
thing.
been good conversations I've had with Pixie on stream before, and she's had good conversations with other people on stream before. And you're ascribing bad intentionality to all of this. I don't think she faked anything.
You're prescribing bad intentionality to me, and then prescribing that to her.
No, hold
I
on.
never
I'm
did
not
that.
ascribing bad intentionality to you. You might just
Explicitly
be
said,
fucking
I don't think
retarded.
she's
I don't
being
know if I don't
purposeful or
know.
malicious.
No, I don't. I think that I'm describing actions. Whether or not you're just like an asshole versus like you're trying to intentionally tear somebody down. I'm not even making the distinction. I don't know. I don't care. That's not relevant to me.
Okay.
But there's a difference between me criticizing somebody and saying I think you're being like bad in this conversation, or even bad faith in this conversation. Like I think there are even conversations where Pisco, I think, has been bad faith. Probably been conversations where I've been bad faith, where I've been too ideologically dug on over. It happens. But there's a big difference between me saying, like, I think that Pisco is being bad faith in this debate versus I think Pisco is a bad faith actor. Those two statements are worlds apart.
I never made that statement. I said in every conversation she engages in.
You're saying at the start, the title is conversations are pointless with her, meaning all
Yes,
conversations.
Every conversation I've observed where Pixie is engaged in it, she does this common thing. Right? You pointed it out. I've pointed it out. But some difference. Like, I'm guessing you're just doing the be nicer, but to me. Like,
I'm not doing be nicer. You're just...
You literally are, though. You're saying, just be nicer.
No, he's asking you to make substantive claims
Yeah.
about their argument.
If
not
you would
his-
have made a post where you would have said this, okay? Pixie was being irrational in this last debate. Here are 4 things that Pixie said. I don't know how she can claim that it was unethical to buy this game, but it seems like she supports people pirating it. So it seems like she's inconsistent on her stance in consuming the product. I don't think it's fair that she talked about not buying the Kleenex, even if you misunderstood it. That's fine. You can say, like, how is she saying that she can boycott the game but not buy Kleenex, but she just buy another brand of tissue paper? Those are valid criticism. That's totally fine, and I would let that stand. But you're not making criticisms of her arguments. You're destroying her character. And you're saying all conversations with her are pointless. It's not even like remotely the same. And you guys can say be nicer, but these are like the things that I've like critical of the subreddit. If you guys want to make posts just like tearing down arguments people made, that's fine. That's the kind of post that I want. But you guys don't do that. It'll be a post of like, this person is a bad faith fucking loser who's too emotional to ever fucking make a fucking... It's like, damn, you don't even have any like thing of substance in here. It's all just like shitting on her character. Like there's not even like an argument to engage with here. And I think even as a result, like none of the comments are even good. Like all of them are just like, yeah, she sucks. Someone had to say it. Don't ever drink before blah blah blah. I remember a few years back, I'd never heard her say anything of value ever. Like, yeah, of course these are the types of comments you're getting because this is the type of post it is. You don't even have anything of substance in here for somebody to disagree with, other than character defenses.
You think I post is a description of her character and not a description of a pattern of behavior?
No, it's a description of her character.
You could have made your post be about her behavior had you like cited like anything.
I actually did in the comments.
Oh well, that changes everything.
Dude, your other post was crazy too. Can these pathetic freaks just own their feelings? Jesus Christ.
Well, that one I was a bit more emotional.
You need to touch some grass, dude. And I say this as a Reddit moderator.
Okay, you jumped into the arena. Who unbanned? Did you unban him? Did I ever ban him?
You banned them. I just checked.
Okay, you get a 30-day timeout from the subreddit.
30? That's a 90. Easy.
You get a 45-day because you stepped into the arena. Tate would have been happy, okay?
Okay, that's
I mean,
fair.
you're the one. You're still being bad faith.
I'm not being bad faith. If you can't take some
You
time.
are. You're like, you can't make this criticism because not me.
It's just character attacks.
You can see it that way, but it's just not.
But what if it just is? Maybe it is.
That's your interpretation because I'm not you. If I was you, you'd be like, good stuff. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, test me. What do you think I think that about? Or give me like an example.
You literally just agreed like 5 minutes ago that you made similar criticisms to her face before in a different conversation.
Yeah, I think there are times when she's too ideologically driven. I have that critique of almost everybody.
And then when I go on the subreddit and I say that, you're like, banned.
Because I'm not tearing down their character and saying they're incapable of ever thinking anything different. Yeah, conversation with this person is a waste of fucking time. Bro, how can you claim that I do this when the #1 criticism I get on my subreddit is that I give people too many chances? Like, come on, I can't be both of these at the same time. Everybody gets irritated because I get people like Lab or Sneeko or Mr. Girl.
The #1 criticism? I think that's #2. I think the #1 criticism is that you're way too vitriolic with some people.
No, absolutely not. There are
oh my god.
That might be #2
You're
or 3 or
literally
4.
the
No,
most
the
inflammatory
most
person
pushback I get in my community is giving people way too many chances. The Fuentes shit was huge. The Mr. Girl and Lav shit was huge.
Amnesia?
The Anna what?
Selective amnesia? You're forgetting.
The Annalicia shit was huge. People go ape shit over me being too charitable to people. What do you mean? That is absolutely the biggest criticism I get. The only times people are mad at me being
Half the
vitriolic is
posts
when
on
I.
the subreddit are screen caps of your tweets going, "Oh, he's not going to get banned again. Why does he do this? Why does he behave like this?"
Yeah, but like, what's the context? It's usually like he's gonna get banned from Twitter or whatever.
Actually blowing my mind.
Don't you think it's a little bad faith to equate like the Million Man March in the subreddit after Annalisa came out to like shit posts about his memes on Twitter?
Yeah, bro. Like,
Don't you think that's a little bad faith?
And you can
A
call
little?
them shit posts, but they're filled
I
with
will.
actual criticisms of your conduct. You just don't
Gotcha.
read them because you don't care.
I do read them. I read everything. How else would I know about them otherwise?
And then you hand wave me, you go, "Oh, you guys just want me to be nicer."
Yeah, because I think some of it is changing my brand, but I mean, I still listen to it. I mean, I understand what people are saying.
Really?
Really.
Anything else?
Jesus. Oh, shit. Okay, I'll give you the last word on this. Go. I have to leave. Go ahead.
Okay, well. I think I was using a bit of hyperbole, but I think my overall critique stands, as you've literally agreed with it. The only difference is that I'm not you, and I made it on the subreddit and not on your stream. So, yeah. So I'll take my 30-day ban as a badge of honor.
I think I upped it to 45, so you got a lot of time to think about your
45,
behavior.
that makes it even better.
Yeah, think about your
It's
behavior.
50% better.
Okay.
Badge is worth 50% more,
All right, well, listen. Be careful, buddy, okay?
too. So, yeah.
Dude,
What?
am I gonna have to be like beholden to
Stop,
watching?
leave, Pixie. I'm not here to simp for you, motherfucker. Leave.
No, I wanted to argue with him, but you just left at the
Well,
second
you should have
that-
come in fucking 30 minutes ago when he was here, because I gotta leave soon. Okay, bye.
Okay,
Leave. Pixie, or Forethought, what do you want?
Dude, am I gonna have to be beholden to like watching these random ass shit debates about Hogwarts in order to moderate the sub? I hate this shit.
You'll be okay, buddy, okay?
Good luck, dude. Later.
Love you.